And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another day, the second broadcast here, the second qualifier of the Esports World Cup, the EWC 2025 European Open Qualifier. A moment as I get my camera up and running. But welcome one and all. Of course, just VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to our second qualifier of the day, our third broadcast of the day in total here, as we have our fresh series ready for us. I do apologize for the delays. to the stream, but lastly, bracket took a while to get seated. There were some technical issues as well, but now we are here. Now we are back, and we are raring to go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Zerg player, himself. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And there's just so much to go over. But thank you so much, Ian in the chat, Ian M7, for the gifted subs to the community. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate the support. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Likewise, just not just Ian M7, but also we did get a resubscription as well earlier when we went live. So thank you so much to our resubscribers. Thank you so much for the support. Likewise, big shout out to Dave Testa as well. Oh mate Dave, he did give us a raid, so I hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great ladder session, hope you had a great time, and welcome to the European EWC qualifier. This is the second EWC qualifier of the day. We were live earlier with the Asia qualifier. Now we're here with Europe, and later on tonight is going to be the Americas qualifier. Wouldn't be surprised if Dave Testa was a part of that. Chicken Man, Steadfast, and some of the other NA casters, so do look forward to that. That's going to be later on in the evening. For now, though, we have our match. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is very stacked. The bracket is massive. For those that are curious, it is top 8. Top 8 qualify for the closed qualifier. So what does that mean? Qualifying matches are best of 5s, so the round of 16 is where best of 5s occur. So the bracket itself is large, but there aren't that many rounds to go through. There are 3 rounds in total. Again, round of 16 is where qualifying matches do occur, and we are already in the round of 32. If you're in the chat, predictions, they would have closed by now, but you can place your bets on who you think will claim the series. But here we go. We are settling into this for the time being. We do have a standard opener, hatch gas pull out of GgMaChine, a standard opener out of our Zerg player. Likewise, do have a gate expanded to Cybercore out of MaNa. So far, so good. Stargate opener as well. Now, MaNa, he is known for one thing and one thing only in this matchup. That is Stargate opener into Archon drop. This is a build, this is a style that MaNa has, I almost want to say perfected, but has really relied upon and has found a lot of success here against some top Zerg players. We've seen MaNa take down the best of the best players as of late. I don't know what it is about MaNa, but recently has been peaking. MaNa, he recently did defeat Clem, recently beat Max as well. MaNa beating some top Koreans, some top Europeans. It's insane to see MaNa just pop off and bring them down. A lot of it based off of his builds, a lot of it based off of his unit control as well, his micro, and we'll see what he can bring to the table here with this qualifier. I'll be honest, seeing MaNa in recent weeks, in recent months, and seeing the players that he's brought down, I want to say MaNa's favorite. He's favored to qualify, at least for the closed qualifier, maybe even further than that. Until then though, we do threaten the shade. Again, GgMaChine, he's more of a younger up-and-comer. We have one of the youngest players in the scene up against one of the oldest players, actually. MaNa's been around for a very long time, but it's great to see him peaking and competing and still able to contest against the best players in the world, even here and now in 2025. MaNa has been a beast as of late. And for now, the Oracle is moving out. Their base is being taken. But again, as we mentioned, we are waiting for the Robo. Yep, there it is. Robo's been thrown down. Robo follow-up screams Archon drop. As we mentioned, like MaNa, he almost exclusively goes for Archon drop openers, specifically in PvZ. It is a bit of a slower style. It's a little bit less aggressive early on, but it does snowball out of control as Lings, they do get in. Ooh, Lings, they do flood into the main base. The wall was not a wall. Oracle does respond, but Lings, they do get a free scout into the main base. They confirm the Robo, they confirm the Twilight Council, and GgMaChine, he knows. Even without scouting, I'm sure in the back of his mind he was thinking of the Archon drop. Again, if we know that MaNa's known for this, then GgMaChine, everyone knows, really. And he just confirms. It does confirm with the Lings. Gets 2 probes, not bad. 2 workers do go down. And with that, we'll see where we go from here. Again, GgMaChine just going to be droning, saturating, going into early +1 melee, into Ling Hydra should be the composition of choice. But again, MaNa, as we mentioned, a Robo Opener into War Prism, into Twilight Council, into Temple Archives, into Archon Drop. It all leads into Archon Drop. This is a way to get some damage done across the map, to maintain map control, deny creep, hunt down Overlords. It's a really strong way to start, of course. The downside, as you can imagine, is that you do have a little bit less finesse that Blink Stalkers would otherwise provide you. And this does head towards Charge or Archon into Storm, into a robust, slower, but a hefty ground-based composition. Lings get us around. They do pick off 2 Adepts. Nice catch here from GgMaChine. He moves out. As he moves out, the Oracles have to respond. Meanwhile, the Prism does not back off. Here come those High Templar. Here come the Archons. Lings, they get across the map. Well, they do take down the shield battery. Not bad. Shield battery does fall. Lings, they do get 3, 4 probe kills across the map, 5 probe kills, and the Archon Drop is upon us. Again, it's going to be Archon Drop into Charge. As you can see, the downside as well is that your ground army is lacking. There's very little on the ground early on here to protect, to defend. You're relying heavily here on these 2 Archons, and that does supply block GgMaChine. It is going to be supply blocked. Base taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage, but so far the Queens are keeping up. Prism going for the Zealot Warp in. Charge is not yet done. These are going to be slow lots. They're here just to buffer, just to support. And so far trading well against the Lings. The Lings are going down. Can he get any Queens though? Yeah, the Prism has to be careful, has to pull away. We're running out of transfuse. I believe that was the final transfuse. 2 Queens go down. Ooh, 3 Queens, 4 Queens. The kill count is stacking up. Going for another warp in. 4 Queen kills, 4 Queens, all the Lings, and the expansion. And just like that, MaNa, he breaks through the defensive line, takes down the base as well. Brutal pickoffs at the same time. Oracle here towards that natural, can go for the stasis. As MaNa is not done, dropping into the main. There's that stasis. Stasis here at the mineral line. Archon's forced to pick up, but the efficiency for MaNa has been insane. Has he lost anything? He's lost Zealots and a handful of probes to Ling run by earlier. But so far, better trades for MaNa. Ooh, saves both Archons, just barely, gets behind the Zealots. Again, you don't need Charge to buffer for your army. The army comes to you. So again, so far, just very nice movement here from MaNa. Very nice positional play, as we did mention. That's where MaNa does excel. With a handful of units, he does out-control. He does push forward, going for another massive warp in. Takes out another Queen. And now, Charge is done. You saw what MaNa could do without Charge. Now with Charge, he collapses on those Hydras. Hydras are going down. The boys are being pulled. Their boys are being pulled into Archons, though. Oh, 1 Archon finally goes down. Yeah, we do see the Prism was just a little bit too late there, and GgMaChine, he holds. GgMaChine, he does hold on. He does survive, but he took so many losses. At least he kills 1 Archon. He got 1. And he traded with the Zealots, but these are still better trades for MaNa. And behind this, he's not all in. Like, bear that in mind. Like, this is an opener. Like, the Archon Drop is just an opener. Did commit with Zealots, that's true, but it was worth it. And behind it, now taking gases, now claiming a 4th base, going for another stasis trap, catching out 2 more drones. And behind this, we should be working towards Storm. I say working towards, Storm is already done. So now we have the Charge Archon Storm follow-up out of MaNa. The follow-up is here. And GgMaChine, he's in a rough position. He's now moving out. He has to commit, but Storm does connect. And at least he's now aware. Storm is revealed. Immediately, Lurkerden. Lurkerden is on the way, so GgMaChine is going to try to turtle. And, I mean, if he can get to Lurkers, then he can destabilize. That is true, but the problem is that there's a massive window. There's a massive window where GgMaChine doesn't have Lurkers. And without Lurkers, MaNa can stumble out of control. He can stumble out of control, he can kill. He can just go for the kill. He can go for the throat. More Archons morph in. Now moving forward. Storm behind this. Speaking of, he doesn't want to waste it though. He has 2 storms. Ooh, nice storm on the high. Oh my god. Oh, the brutal storms. Yeah, the latest storms. Every Hydra goes down. There's 2 Hydras remaining. GG gets called, and MaNa will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Get a solid start here out of MaNa. And again, this is what he's known for. If you've been watching MaNa over the past 6 months, you've seen this before. We've seen this before. We've casted this before. That is why we did call this earlier. Again, Stargate opener, Oracle into Robo into Archon Drop is MaNa's speciality. It's something that he's made his own, and it's something that he does best. Oh boy, he's even taken down players like several with this before. I want to say at the start of the year. I could be crazy. I say take down, like taking a map, I mean. Not necessarily a series. But this can be a terrifying style to play against, can be very intimidating, especially if you skip roaches. As we saw there, winding it back a little bit, as a reminder, GgMaChine, what did he go for? He went for early Evo Chamber into +1 melee into Ling Hydra. What does that mean? No banelings, no roaches. So your army is very fragile. Your army is very fragile. So specifically against an Archon drop kind of style, your army is vulnerable to that kind of style. So it does punish these more greedier builds and greedier play. Now, after game 1, I would imagine that GgMaChine is going to play Roach instead. Roaches are more robust, Roaches are more efficient against that kind of army, they're a little bit more tankier, and they can take some hits. They're a little bit of a safer way to build up into the mid game, against especially Charger Archon. But here we go. Here we go, we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have our red Zerg player. We have a red Zerg down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce out. We'll see if we can force the ace match. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is MaNa. Here we go. When I was thinking of the top Zerg players that MaNa's brought down with this, Rogue comes to mind. That was over the weekend. MaNa did defeat Rogue. Once again, relying on this more drop heavy or this Archon drop follow-up style. Did defeat him in a best of 3, of course. So already one of the best Zerg players in the world going down. Likewise, I spoke about Serral. Yes, MaNa did force Serral to the ace match also with this style as well. Again, it takes down Lambo. MaNa, he's a threat to, mate, if you can take maps off of Serral, if you can take a series off of Rogue, then mate. There's not many Zerg players that MaNa's afraid of. Let me just say that. Not many Zergs is he afraid of. Even Serral, nah, he'll stare him down. He'll stare him down. Let's go. But as we mentioned, the style and the composition that GgMaChine was going for specifically is vulnerable to the Archon drop follow-up or the Archon drop build. So from here, I would imagine blind roaches would make the most sense. I say blind because there's a high chance that MaNa's just going to go for the same build. Of course, it'll be on GgMaChine to confirm, and last game he did confirm. We'll see what he goes for. For now, going to be joining up. Now we are going to be joining up, saturating our bases. And it is going to be, once again, the Stargate opener from MaNa. And again, we're expecting Stargate into third base into Robo. If he deviates from that, then we'll take note of it, and we'll yell out. Well, he'll be crazy, man. He'll be crazy. From the side of GgMaChine, there are certain timings where we do expect to see tech, around 4 minutes and then around 5 minutes. So we'll see if GgMaChine goes for a lair first opener, once again, Evo Chamber first, or if he goes into Roaches. Go. So now we are going to be joining on up. We are going to be saturating. Meanwhile, MaNa hunting down the first Overlord. Not bad. He won't quite get the kill. The Overlord should be able to get to the pillar in time. Is going to be safe. Overlord does survive. We can see MaNa looking for another Overlord. Doesn't quite find one. Not yet. Still being cheeky though with this first Stalker. Lings are revealed. Ling speed is still a ways away, so MaNa, he can freely kite. Now the Adept has arrived as well, so nice pickles here from MaNa. And this here comes the Oracle. And we are waiting for that. There it is. Take of choice, Robo. So Robo follow-up. So once again, this does scream Archon drop. It's going to be Robo into Twilight Council, into Temple Archives, into Archon drop with a War Prism first out of MaNa. Meanwhile, the Oracle arrives and the Overlord is hunted down. So nice pick off. GgMaChine is supply blocked. And once again, do you see what I see? Evo Chamber. Remember, just like last game, fast Evo Chamber typically signifies +1 melee, typically signifies Ling into Hydra. Now, if we see melee, yep, there it is, melee's on the way. Now, even though GgMaChine had a really hard time against the composition, against the Archons, the Zealots, against all things Protoss last game, he can adjust by throwing down a Baneling Nest. Like Banelings and like Link Queen, Baneling does fare a little bit better here. GgMaChine, of course, he did skip his Roaches and he skipped his Baneling Nest last game, but here he might adjust, he might go for the Nest as well, just to help out against that those Zealot reinforcements, against that Zealot's attack. Overlord is going to be zoned away. Back behind this, Temple Archives on the way, as we mentioned, again, for the High Templar, for the Archons. GgMaChine, he does see the Robo. He's aware. He is aware. Lings, they get an Adept. There it is. Safety Roach Warren. Okay, okay. So this time, safety Roach Warren out of GgMaChine. He's still ideally, like, plus one melee tells us that most likely he wants to skip Roaches if possible. He won't. He'll have to invest into them. But ideally he wants to skip Roaches and go into Hydras. Thankfully, he does have access to Roach production, unlike the previous game. And here come the Archons. The drop is coming. Meanwhile, GgMaChine has just been droning, just been saturating. Drop is coming in. Oracle on the right hand side. Oracle does distract the Queens. And we have 4 safety Roaches on the way. Nice interception. Very nice. And the Oracle does go down. A solid movement here from GgMaChine. Solid positioning. Meanwhile, the Archon drop does get into the mineral line. So far, getting 3 drones. Even going for the Spore. Does allow the Prism to have more access to the main. But Roaches are revealed. There we go. Roaches are revealed. Queens are going to be moving in. And MaNa, he has to get out of here. He has to get out. He does Kai well. But he cannot fight against all these Queens. Not like this. Yeah, not this time. Likewise, now there's Roach support as well. Roach speed is on the way. And now MaNa's having a harder time finding damage. Again, thanks to the Roach. So this time we have our Roaches. GgMaChine, from here, he has the option to be aggressive, but he's droning. He's droning up behind this. He's going to be saturating. Archons, they poke in. They're going to be forced back. Oh. So far, nice control here. One of the Archons gets very low. Oh my god, the Prism as well. Okay, calm down, MaNa. Prism taking a lot of hits. And here MaNa's just trying to buy time for what? For Storm. Storm, Charge, Immortal Production, Gateway Explosion, 3-way Saturation. MaNa is macroing up behind this, but you can see that this time he gets nowhere near as much damage. By now he would have already been killing 5 Queens, but this time he kills 0 Queens. This time he does get some drones, he does pick off 20 Lings, he does trade, but nowhere near as much. So now this time GgMaChine is in a much better position. Now what's going on? He's droning. Droning up with the Hydrogen on the way, Infestation on the way, he's taking up in towards Hive. And even going to Tunneling Claw of Roaches. Interesting. But like now GgMaChine, he's holding his own. You can see how different the game can be once you know what you're up against, once you have a better response. This was the same build out of MaNa, but such a different outcome. Alright, GgMaChine, fool me once. Okay. Never fool me again. Fool me once, I'm not shameless, Matthew. I'm not shameless. Oh no. Here we go. Yeah, building up. Shameless, of course, in a different portion of the bracket. But he is moving out. MaNa, I mean, Storm is done. Storm is complete. We don't really have many Zealot reinforcements. This is a very robust army, though. Very high-tech, very intense. Immortals, Archons. Here come those Charge-Outs, and here comes the Storm support. It's going to be 3 High Templar in the War Prism, at least 3 Storms. So we have to take... we have to bear that in mind. The Storms have to count. MaNa, he does expand behind this, but he's pushing. GgMaChine is caught teching, by the way. He doesn't have much of an army. GgMaChine, what's going on? Well, he got Burrow. He got Tunneling Claws. He got Hive upgrades, or he got Hydra upgrades. Hive is on the way. Lurker Den's on the way. GgMaChine spending so much money teching. Does he get away with this? He needs a little bit more time. More Hydras are building up. Roach is a due Burrow pass. Let's go. Getting some of the army. Oh my god. Did he get the top? Nice Storms on the Hydras. Oh my, the Hydras, they just melt. The Hydras melt, the Roaches melt, and MaNa, he does it. He breaks through. Storm in the army as well. And again, GgMaChine was just too greedy. What does he have? He has a Tunneling Claw of Roaches, he has Burrow, he has the Hive, he has Lurker Den, he's getting into more upgrades, but no units. The units are lacking here. GgMaChine was thinking too far ahead. And MaNa, he strikes. Ooh, nice target firing on both High Templar. 0 Storms left. Without Storms, GgMaChine, can he hold on? No shot. Yeah, no shots. Auxiliary reinforcements are all that MaNa needs. For here, he backs off. He needs those warp pins. For now, pulling away. Does save the Archons. But the damage has been done. 22 drone kills. 22 workers. Again, if only he had one more High Templar, one more Storm. But they were focus fired. So nice control there by GgMaChine towards the end. But alas, it's still an uphill battle. The Prism does get away. Speaking of High Templar. Okay. Speaking of High Templar. We got 5 High Templar, each with at least 1 Storm. Did I say 6? 6 High Templar. MaNa is getting ready for the second wave, the second round. Behind this, we have Skytoss on the way, Fleet Beacon here for MaNa. And now I suppose GgMaChine can make use of all this tech, but the problem is his economy. He's had to re-drone, he's had to resaturate, and once again he's forced to spend lava droning instead of lava making an army. He does have a couple of lurkers on the way that will help, for sure, 100%. Lurkers, they can help slow the game down and buy some time. But MaNa, he's already across the map. Likewise, Storm in the army, detection has arrived. Storms, they pop up. And he's going for the kill, he's going for the kill. He takes on every single lurker. The lurkers, they do nothing. The lunker's back. The observer's a little bit too far back. There we go, another observer has arrived. Does focus down the lurkers. There's 3 lurkers remaining. Down to 2, down to 1. And soon down to 0. 0 lurkers left. GG gets called, and MaNa, he will overwhelm. He will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, MaNa. He will claim the series. Again, MaNa, he is one of the favorites to qualify for the closed qualifier. GgMaChine has also been doing really well for himself, and I was really excited to see some GgMaChine action, and he did hold his own here in game 2. Again, he did adapt after the first game. The first game was rough, right? The first game, you got caught with his pants down. The pants, they were completely down in game 1, and MaNa did take advantage of GgMaChine. Here in game 2, GgMaChine, again, he had a better response. He was more better mentally and physically prepared for the Archon drop opener, so he shut it down. But as we saw, he was too greedy. He was too greedy afterwards. He was getting ready for a longer game. He was droning, he was teching. He wasn't ready for the push coming his way. He wasn't expecting it, I should say. He wasn't expecting it, he wasn't seeing it, he wasn't scouting. GG. GG, well played. MaNa, he will claim the series. And with that, we're getting into our next matchup.